Hey guys, today I'm recording my devotion to you instead of writing it, and I want to talk about the Holy Spirit and the importance of following the Holy Spirit, knowing what the Holy Spirit feels like to you personally, but also in your ministry, the things that you offer to the men that you're going to be guiding, mentoring, coaching, discipling. One of the things that I learned years ago that what I needed absolutely was the guidance of the Holy Spirit in almost every encounter that I have with men, and in events, teachings, speaking, in my prayers. I used to pray just the most common sense things like a lot of us do, and kind of religious prayers, and I don't know, in my studies in the scriptures and Jesus's own testimony to us that he only did what he saw the Father doing, that really impacted me in my own personal life. Is that I think I came to the decision one time, I know I did, that anything that I was doing that wasn't of God's will, anything I wasn't praying, anything I wasn't acting in, was really sin. It was sin against God because I was working against God. And I began to learn to trust, years and years ago, my gut instincts. And what I say by that is my new creation instincts, which I've had really in my entire life, but I've gone against them mostly my entire life for a lot of reasons: religious reasons, being a good guy reasons, not appropriate reasons, just a lot of different things. And I've kind of learned to kind of lean more and more, even now, into the Holy Spirit. When I didn't, it was often I would be left tired, I'd be left dissatisfied, maybe with something I said or with the way the group interacted. If I tried to force completely my agenda, my hopes for what would come out of a group. And so the reason I'm sharing this is that we all need to develop a reliance on the Holy Spirit. Jesus said to his disciples, if you recall, before they were to go out and start winning the world over after his ascension, he said, don't go do anything until my friend has come, which was the Holy Spirit, and you will be empowered and equipped to go and basically change the world. And because he knew there was going to be a gap between when he left and when the Holy Spirit would come. Of course, the Holy Spirit came in a mighty way at Pentecost, rushed in, empowered them, and they got an internal, enhancement, upgrade to the personal God, personal Jesus that they've been walking with in the physical way. That in the triune God, they got the Holy Spirit to be their guide. And if you think about that, even more intimate than Jesus was with them. So as I share this, what I want to do is encourage you to begin to practice in your prayers, in your encounters, just asking for the counselor and the guide, who is the Holy Spirit, to go before you, speak to your heart and your mind, and start to rely on that. Start to practice this listening to the Holy Spirit. Also, learn to recognize the Holy Spirit in your midst. And there's always going to be an emotional response to the Holy Spirit. There's going to be an intellectual response. Things will start to fall together that you couldn't have planned or thought about. Someone will say something. They will get a revelation in their own story. They will encounter something that enhances whatever you're trying to do, and in a much more brilliant way than you could ever do. And then it's your responsibility to pay attention to that. And as I always do, point to it. Point to the fact, hey, the Holy Spirit is working in this place. Because they need to recognize the men that you're around, the men that you're ministering to, like Jesus said to one of the disciples, he said, this didn't come from your human mind. This came from you understanding the kingdom. You didn't get this on your own. So we need to point that out and share that. So, I'd encourage you to go read more in the Bible about the Holy Spirit and the encounters, not only in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, because I know the Holy Spirit didn't come, but the Spirit of God was on the earth. The Spirit of God was speaking to men like Moses and Abram and others, and this continues after Jesus' ascension through the Holy Spirit, because you want to be able to recognize it. My dad always says, God is always speaking to us, and that's through the Holy Spirit, right? That's through His Word. That's through a lot of different things, but we need to learn to take advantage of the wisest, most intellectual guide in the universe, and that's God, and He sends the guide and the counsel of the Holy Spirit. So pay attention, start to learn more about the Holy Spirit. There's some good books you can read on it, that just look them up. One by Robert Morris, The God I Never Knew. There's some other good ones that can tell you more about the Holy Spirit and get you in touch with the Holy Spirit more so. Another good book is John Eldridge's Walking with God, in which he basically does a whole year of him just basically praying about every single detail of his life. And one thing that you'll learn to do once you begin to interact and walk with the Holy Spirit is you'll be left to trusting your internal new flesh, your new spirit in God, and you'll begin to react to things. You will be hesitant at first, because sometimes the things the Holy Spirit or your good heart might, or your new creation might do, would be kind of anti-social or it may be disruptive in certain groups, but that's what we're called to do as followers of Jesus Christ. So I hope this helps. I know this is a long video. I'll send it out in a devotion. I'll also do a transcription so you can read it. But God bless, and remember this as you begin to pay attention to the Holy Spirit in your life, at home, with your ministry to others, and in your personal life. Thank you.